Hey guys, welcome to Draw Easy Cool. My name's Key, and today we will be learning how to draw eyes. A couple of different types. We'll go between the quite simple and easy ones over through to, as you can see, a little bit more complex, more along the lines of Dragon Ball, Naruto, anime and manga. Anywho, let's get into it. Alright guys, let's jump right on in. Just gonna have a quick coffee. Oh, very good. I like my coffee. Alrighty, super quick intro to eyes. Let's start with the super basics. So we've got a couple of the big round circles to begin with, a couple of the long darkened eyes. These are all very basic shapes just to get the feel and get us into the mindset of placement of the eyes, where they go in relation to the mouth. You can push them in really close to each other, out, it doesn't matter. But at the end of the day, you can notice that I'm just kind of warming up and I'm just playing around with a few different things here. When you start to look at overlaying the eyes on top of each other, like the little guy just down there on the right, it starts to look a little more 3D. And this little guy in the middle here, I'm guessing he's kind of going to become like a little bit of a frog maybe eventually one day. But he's a fun little one because you can see how cute characters that you design can become purely by pushing the eyes in close, the pupils in closer together into the middle. Brings out the cuteness really. Alright, so now we've got, when you add a couple of little lines on either sides of just the pupils and don't actually draw the whole eye in, like the little guy down there on the bottom right, he looks a little scared. Now we've got the very simple one over on the left hand side that I'm finishing off now. Ooh, what's over there? He's saying. Just a little tiny highlight as well that makes it. And now this is a couple of my subscribers have said this is their favorite style. It's a little simpler and easier. This guy down here, just color it in around the highlights there to give it some depth, and we're done. Fantastic. Alrighty, let's get on to the complex manga and anime. That's what most people are here for. Okay, so we'll start up the top here and we'll get into the classic big furrowed eyebrows of Dragon Ball style, which will be Akira Toriyama. I've drawn him this style a few times before, you might have noticed. So I usually just start. I don't frame it in too much. I kind of just start with the eyebrows, and I put the little furrows in the middle, and then work my way onto the bottom lid of the eye. So with the highlights, I'm putting in the highlights as I'm rolling with the pupil at the same time. Sometimes you can just pop in your pupil and then go back over, finding where you would like to position the highlights, and just rub a little section out. But I've just gone back in over top. It's a lot easier with the Dragon Ball style. You'll notice in some of the more complex ones in a moment, I will go back over top with the highlights. Here I just thought I'd play around with a kind of like a little alien creature, massive bulbous eyes sticking out in the middle of nowhere, kind of with like a almost like a mask feature for where his nose, well, where our nose and mouth would be. Basically just trying to make it as bulbous as possible with a few extra little highlights in there just to denote that it is a spherical object set in the head there. Alrighty, this little guy, this eye could be used for male or female, usually for females, with the bigger, cuter eyes. They kind of start off more like a square and then slowly squeeze into an oval. They're used for the cute eyes. They can be used in a number of different manga styles, but the emphasis is on high, dark eyelashes, usually sticking out the side, and then an awful lot of emphasis on the highlights as well. I hope you're all enjoying this. I hope you're drawing along and either mimicking or even changing things up as you would. If you would like to hit the subscribe button and the bell for notifications, I will hopefully be able to do a lot more of this type of stuff for you. And I'd love for you guys to email me across some of your artistic work as well. That'd be really cool to see. Hopefully later on down the track I'll be able to break down these eyes individually in their own way, whether it happens to be shonen or shoujo style or kawaii or even Marvel style, all different styles. I'll see what I can do for you guys. But in the meantime, let's continue working on our highlights here, and let's get the pupil in. Now remember, the pupil will predominantly be black. You can change it up as much as you wish. If you want it to be purple, green, do anything you like. That's totally up to you, but don't forget that because the eyebrows do stick over top of the eyes, we do want to pop in a little a shadow running underneath and across the eyeball, which I'll do just now for you in a moment. Okay, so it's getting on a little bit, but I thought, you know what, let's just do one last little one. Let's make it a bit more ominous and angry. This would probably be used for maybe one of the evildoers, a bad guy. But you'll notice that I started out with the eyebrows there. Just very thin, very distinct eyebrow with a little tiny furrow on the right hand side there. Basically just to give myself some reference points, because I want this eye to be slightly thinner, not super thin like one of the crazy evil guys, but maybe someone who has just been turned. So I'm drawing in the whole pupil first, and then I'm going to overlay the highlights onto it, and I'm drawing the pupil in a little smaller because I want it to be a little bit more angry or evil seemingly. Now this can make for a bit of an easier way to draw the eyes for you guys, especially with the pupils, because you've already got the reference point there, and when you pop the highlights in really close to the pupils, it also makes it pop out, makes your drawing stand right out, which is really cool. Oh, and when I say pupil, I'm including the iris there as well. I might need to work on my anatomy a bit. So there we have it, guys. A little bit of an introduction to the manga eyes, the Dragon Ball style, the good and evil, the cutes, and then over here on the left we've got all our basic simple ones for our reference points. Now go draw some eyes. Be free! Ha! Thanks again, guys. Now hit the subscribe button, bell for notifications, and we'll get some more in real soon.